Hello, everyone. I wanted to first of all just say thank you for being so patient this week. There's been a lot going on campus, obviously, with the coronavirus precautions that have been put in place. And Mark and Owen and I have been spending a lot of time this week preparing to move the PTAS 120 lecture to an online format beginning this coming Monday. So, as you've likely heard, Vincennes University has made this campus-wide decision in response to the coronavirus precautions that everything be moved to online. So, first of all, I would just like to please remind you to continue following frequent hand washing precautions, maintaining that social distancing that is being recommended, and then doing all of the other things that you can do to prevent the spread of this very serious virus. And it is each of our responsibilities to try to do that in order that we can conserve our healthcare resources. Ventilators in particular would be an issue should this virus begin to widely spread. And so we want to protect our most vulnerable populations. And so first of all, please make sure that you are following as many of those recommended precautions as you can. So first I would like to discuss how we are going to roll out the online lecture. Let's first talk about the big picture. And as you know from being in the class, all of the lectures are already online with PowerPoints on Blackboard. So those, of course, will remain there, but Mark is also going to do a voiceover on the slides. So you will actually be able to hear him lecture on that particular slide just as you would listening to him in the classroom. The thing that we are going to do is to keep the lectures that way. They will be uploaded with sound so that you can have access to them at any time. We're not going to do the everybody try to log in, at a certain day and time each week to do like a virtual classroom. We're going to continue the lectures, uploading them with sound so that you will have access to them at any time and for as many times as you would like to access them. We feel that will be more flexible for you, and there's also the part where if you try to do the virtual classroom online or with everybody logging in, that may backload the system and we could have technology problems. So we're going to keep it that way. We do feel this will be better for you. That being said, I really believe that you need to get yourself organized. You need to keep yourself motivated and disciplined to learn the material. In other words, the three of us aren't going to be able to say, hey, did you read that last night? Or why don't you go take a look at this? So I that's the piece that, probably I'm most concerned about, just that, people are staying up to speed on their own, because I just know a lot of times we do a lot of motivation in that regard. In addition, Mark will also be adding a discussion board to that lecture. So if you have questions, you can post them on the discussion board, and then other people can see the question and he can respond, and then everybody is seeing what the group, is asking in terms of clarification of material. And so what we are planning on doing, instead of the long 2.5 hours on Thursday, we're actually going to go ahead and split that again. So every Monday, Mark will be releasing a 60-minute video. and he will also release another one on Thursday. So again, you can access those at any time, but those are the dates that he will release the new lectures. Then what Owen and I are going to do is we will follow those lectures the next day with what I'm calling supplementary videos that try to sort of give you a better picture of what that lecture is referring to. So this is the example that I'm using because it's something that you've already done. Let's say that Mark had lectured about ultrasound on that Monday. The next Tuesday, you would see a video that Owen and I are going to release that would show you what the ultrasound machine looks like. You know, we may plug it in, show you what the electrodes look like, maybe where you would place them, show you the settings, just to give you that linking of information between the lecture and the lab. Those videos will not be used for anything other than to supplement the lecture. So we are planning on releasing our videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. So Mark will release his lecture on Monday. Owen and I will release the supplementary video on Tuesday. Mark will release his lecture, his second lecture that week on Thursday. Owen and I will release the supplementary video on Friday. And so that we are following up and kind of giving you an eye into the lab as though you were, on campus. That's how it would be. So we're thinking that will work pretty well. Obviously, this is all new to us, and so I'm just going to throw it out there. If you have some feedback, especially regarding the technology, please speak up. We are open to your suggestions about that. So in terms of the university calendar, May 15th has now been designated as the last day for this semester. So we are going to go through that process that I just talked about until May 15th. So then that brings me to, how are we going to do testing? How are you going to take exams without being on campus? And so today I sent each of you an email, actually through Mark's Blackboard. Sorry, I was logged into his Blackboard, but that's what we're doing right now. But I sent you an email and I put it on the Facebook page too. Please contact Adam McKinley, amckinley@vinu.edu. He needs you to contact him by email so that he can help you get set up for the online testing. These will be proctored, meaning you'll be under, someone will be proctoring you online while you take the exams on Blackboard. So we're a few weeks out from that. We've just got to get up and running before we worry about the exam 3 coming up. So before exam 3, I will release something like this, a video that will, take you through that process and what to expect. And then I will also go ahead and do the preparation for that exam that we had talked about doing anyway on campus before all this happened. And so the last thing I want to talk about are the labs. As you know, we are a very hands-on profession. There are things in the lab that you just simply cannot have access to at home, the machines, the supplies. So we are going to front load all of that stuff that we can do on lecture, and we've got to wait on practicing in the lab and the checkoffs at a later date. And so That is the piece that I don't have dates for yet. I don't have confirmation at all as to when the campus is going to open up. But what I would like you to do is I want you to stay committed to those dates and times that I gave you for clinical education. Those dates and times that we passed out in January. Please stay committed to those. We've got a little thing that we're thinking might work. But again, all of it is contingent upon when Vincennes University will be able to reopen because of the coronavirus. And so I'm trying to keep it to where you're not committing to any more time that you were not anticipating. But once again, I do want you and expect you to keep your clinical dates ready to go. So that being said, this is less than ideal. Obviously, you can probably tell by looking at me, I have these huge circles under my eyes. I'm looking at this video going, Natalie, you look bad. But anyway, we are just really working diligently. We're trying to figure this thing out the way everybody else is. We make plans and then something changes and then we have to make another plan. But, having said that, I can tell you, we've got this. I mean, we are ready. We're getting prepared. I think what we have, in a framework as far as how we're going to deliver this thing is, it may end up being things that we use in the future. So, I hope this has answered some of your questions. If you're having some anxiety, I hope that this has helped relieve some of that. I've just learned with dealing with anxiety, you do better if you focus on what it is that you can control. So right now, what you can control is just get into that material, study it like crazy. Remember, I talked to you about at the beginning of the semester, you've got to dig deep into the content. You've got to try to, really read if you see a word that you don't know what that is, you got to go look it up. Or, you'll have to take the extra step to contact me, Owen, Mark, and we've always got phones. I mean, we can call each other and get things explained. So that is the part that you can control, and that's what you've got to focus on right now. Just like I'm having to focus on what is it that I can control, and what I want to control is making this as good for you, my students, that I can. And so I promise you, to that end, you're going to get the best that we can possibly do in a very challenging situation at the moment. So, but hang in there, there's time. There's plenty of time to have this happen, as long as, we can get all of these precautions lifted. So, and that is the unknown, that it is what it is, that we can't change that. So for right now, make sure you can get logged into your Blackboard. You should have 2 sites now. You should have one under Mark's name and one under Owen's name. I think I can't see things from your side. So go ahead, get on your Blackboard, see what you've got. Make sure that you email Adam McKinley, amckinley@vinu.edu, and get that going. Those are the 2 things that you can do right now, because starting on Monday, we'll have your first lecture up there, and I think we're still focusing on a little bit on the spine. So, be ready to go on Monday. I'll send out things like this as much as I can. If you have a recommendation for the technology, please speak up, because we're, that's something in our generation that your generation has on us for sure. So let's stay together. Let's try to stay positive. I do think this is doable. It's different, but it's doable. And, we got to just make the best of it. So don't hesitate to call me. My number on campus is 812-888-4414. My email is ngraves@vinu.edu. I know you all know how to get a hold of Owen, so please stay in good communication with us as we will with you. So take care, and we'll get this thing going on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.